Hi, second graders. Welcome back. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I know that I did. It was such a beautiful day. And it's pretty nice out today, too. So I hope that at some point you guys are able to get out and enjoy the sunshine. So today we're going to start a new chapter, telling time. And so we're going to start off on page 593. This lesson's called Time to the Hour. So go ahead and open up your book to 593. Okay, I'm so excited about this chapter, you guys, because now you'll be able to look at the clock and figure out what time it is without having to ask me when you have to log out to use the restroom. What? Yes. Okay, so the directions for this part are to fill in the missing numbers on this clock, okay? So when we look at a clock, we go to the right side, okay? And it does go up by 1. So that would be, so if this is 12, well, 12 is the last number, but starting here, we start at 1. So go ahead and write in a 1. Then we have 2, and then we need 3, and then we have 4, and we need 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, the reason that our clock has 12 hours on it is because we have a certain number of hours in our day. Now, does anyone know how many hours we have in a day? Yes, 24 hours, right? And so 12 plus 12 is 24. So that's why our clocks have up to the number 12. Now, draw hands on the clock to show 4 o'clock. Okay, so we're talking about time to the hour today. That's what this lesson is. So when we draw the hands on our clock for 4 o'clock, we have on these clocks, we have a big hand, a long hand, and then we have a short hand or the little hand. Okay, and so the big hand is, because it's going to be 4 o'clock, is going to point to the 12. So you want to draw like an arrow or the hand to the clock that is pretty long and almost touches the 12. Okay, so go ahead and do that. All right, and because it's 4 o'clock, that means that the little hand or the short hand is going to point to the 4. And so this hand's going to be a little bit shorter. And then you want it to point to the 4. And so when the big hand is pointing to the 12 and the short hand is pointing to the 4 or any number on your clock, that means it is 4 o'clock. Or if it was pointing at the 3, if the short hand was pointing at the 3, it would be 3 o'clock. If it was pointing at the 2, it would be 2 o'clock. If it was pointing at the 8, it would be 8 o'clock, and so on and so forth, okay? So after you've done that, go ahead and turn the page. Okay, and so obviously you know that there are different kind of clocks because we have one that looks like this, a digital clock in our classroom, okay? And we also have an analog clock in our classroom, although you guys never really used this one. You guys always used this one, okay? So let's go ahead and come up here and read it with me. On an analog clock, the hour hand points to the hour. It is shorter. Talked about that. So the minute hand points to the minute. It is longer. And so here they're showing you that the minute hand is long and the hour hand is short. Okay. So a digital clock shows the hour in minutes on a screen. So here's the hour, and then here are the minutes after the hour. And so the time that is showing on this analog clock and this digital clock is what time? 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. No minutes after. 3 o'clock. So go ahead and just trace that 3. Okay. So now we're going to use the analog clock to tell what time is shown, and we're going to write that time, okay? And so looking at number 1, the short hand is pointing to the 9, and the long hand is pointing to the 12. Okay, whenever the long hand points to the 12, that means there are no minutes behind it, okay? It's that time o'clock, okay? And so here, since the little hand is pointing to the 9, that is 9 o'clock. It's just 9 o'clock. And so go ahead and write it in the digital clock. So that would be 9 and 2 zeros behind it. And it is 9 o'clock. Okay. So now I want you to do numbers 2 and 3 on your own. Go ahead and pause this video. And when you are ready, go ahead and press play. All right, here we go. Number 2. So the little hand is pointing to the 11 and the big hand is pointing to the 12. The big hand being our minute hand, the little hand being our hour hand. And so this time here would be 11 o'clock. You're right. So 11 and then the 2 zeros after it, and it would be 11 o'clock. Okay. Now looking at number 3, the short hand is on the 6 and the long hand is on the 12. And so here it is, you got it, 6 o'clock. So 6 and then 2 zeros after it, and it is 6 o'clock. Okay, so now I want you to go ahead and do pages 595, 596. If you have any questions, that's tomorrow during office hours is when you can ask me your questions, okay? Please ask me questions if you have them. If you guys need to rewatch this and kind of review it, go ahead and do that. But I hope you guys enjoy your day, and I can't wait to see some of you tomorrow.